let's say I say something now, who is going to believe me? Who is going to listen and believe me? Especially when you know who this person is, you know how much influence they have on people, you know how much people adore them. Who is going to believe you? Chances are people will rather say I was the one who came onto him. I mean, there's a 99% chance that that's going to be, you know, the easiest conclusion than for people to actually believe whatever I say. And that's even me considering the fact that I don't think, that I have any history of, you know, anything in all my years in that church to give people the impression that, you know, I could have just made it up. But still, like I said before, it's always going to be about blissful ignorance for these people. These people don't even want to consider the fact that the person who they hold in the highest regard will do something as shitty as this. So they would rather not believe you. They would rather, because it means they have to question everything else. And nobody wants to question everything else. So they would rather not believe you. So maybe because I was an insider and I knew how that place works, it didn't also help, you know, in boosting up my courage to be like, oh yeah, let's report this. Yeah, and I mean, finally, I think, like I said, everybody has a coping mechanism. Everybody has a coping mechanism. For me, it's that I take responsibility. I don't know if you've ever met people who just take responsibility. Like, that's the first thing they do before they do anything else. I mean, it's not always the right thing to do, especially for someone like me who, if something similar had happened to a friend, I would have been like, no, you didn't do this wasn't your fault. I know that, I can tell people that, but when it came to me, I couldn't tell myself that. Maybe I still can't tell myself that, I don't know, but it's something that I know, it's something that I believe, but it's a different thing when it applies to you.
Right.
It's a different thing when you're telling it back to yourself.
So intellectually, you can know that you are not to blame.
Yes, because
emotionally,
I mean, going there is not an invitation to rape me. It's not an invitation to let's have sex. I went there because he asked me to be there, and it was my boss. I went there because I thought we had, you know, I thought that it was someone I trusted, so I went there. So going there is not. That was the only thing I did. I went there, like I went to the house. Yes, that's what I did, really. And I think that, I mean, if it now comes to finding out so why do this now? Why come out anonymously and, you know, share this story that you didn't want to share? Because this is beyond me. This is way more than me. It's way more than me. I mean, if there's anything that is more important to me now, it's that this doesn't go on. And then I realized this isn't going away. This is not going anywhere. I'm reminded of it every day because I see it on Twitter. I see people make memes and funny stuff about it. I also see people trivialize it. I see people doubt it. I see people defend it. So it's obviously not going anywhere. So it has to be dealt with. So I feel like if I can contribute, even if it's a fraction, to this conversation, if I can let someone at least know that this is who this person is, as opposed to who he says he is, then that's something that, you know, is worth doing this for. So this is beyond all trying to, you know, come out now and put a face to myself or try to get, you know, some sort of, it's because this has gone on for too long. This is beyond anyone. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to the people around us to let these conversations go on, to let these stories be heard, no matter how people spin it. I don't think that people are going to not find a way to spin this. Yeah, Paul.
There's something you said that I found, and I wanted to go back to that. You said when a person is raped, the first thing the person is thinking about is not justice, it's not exposing the person, it's survival, it's self-preservation. Yes.
You're thinking about yourself. You're thinking about self-preservation, like you said. You're thinking about, you know, making that switch to whatever your coping mechanism is. Whatever it is, you have to tell yourself to get yourself through the next minute, and then the next hour, and then the next day. So, I mean, depending on, we all cope differently, like I said. We all have different coping mechanisms. Yes, we all have different ways that we deal with issues. So, but at the prime of all of that is survival. That's what you're thinking about. You just want to, yes. So, I mean, there's a lot going on in your head. The amount of energy that you spend even trying to get yourself together, to tell that story back to yourself, the fact that you're living it, you're living it every day, is enough ordeal to go through and keep you busy that you're not even thinking about, And then, of course, you also think about the shame that is attached to it, the number of people that probably will not even believe you if you say it. So when you think about all of that, you start to think if it's worth it, if it's worth all that drama, or if it's something that you... And it's even worse when you're someone who likes to make a list of, things and see... I mean, if you're the kind of person who weighs what your options are, or if you're not kind of like the kind of person who just hastily decides something without thinking through it, the more you think through it, the more you give yourself reasons to not, go out and say something to the next person. Then you have to now deal with the fact that nobody believes you. So it's not just that you're dealing with something that, could be, that is not just devastating, but, is something that you're going to probably carry with you for the rest of your life. You're also now going to be dealing with what people say or how they're asking you questions and they're asking you to justify. I feel like that's a lot of load to put on victims. I don't know why we ask them for that. I don't know why we feel like people need to, the only way they can justify that something happened to them, something as horrible as rape, is to go out and find the nearest person to report to. I think that when you are in that state, there's a lot that is going on in your mind, but you really are just thinking about survival. Yeah.
Yes. Now you had mentioned that one of the reasons why you came out to talk about this is, but before that, let me ask, why are you anonymous?
I'm anonymous because, one, if there's anything that I want more than anything right now, and I want a lot of things, but if there's anything I want that is really on, my top of the list of things to have, is to never have to do anything with these people ever. Is to never be associated with them. Is to never have to have my name in the same sentence with them. I've done a lot to make sure that I've erased that part of my life. It's taken me a long time. It's taken me relationships that I've had to cut off from. It's taken me, leaving a lot of people behind. So why do it now? Because that's taking me right back to where I started. And I know that, so being anonymous is my selfish way of choosing me. Yeah, it's really that simple. I just chose me. I don't want to be attached to that guy. I don't want to be in the same sentence with him. I don't want to, it's really just that simple for me. Yeah. So as much as I want to be a selfless person who tells that story, as much as I want to be the bold, courageous person who comes out and says, this is what I had to go through. And I know for a fact that this is what a lot of other people have had to go through. I know for a fact that this man is doing what they said he did, because he did it to me, and he's done it to a lot of several other people, taking advantage of the power he has, taking advantage of his office as pastor. As much as I want to do all of that, I also just want to stay anonymous because,